The Book of Yirmeyahu, also called the Book of Jeremiah, chapter 13. Thus says Yahuwah unto me, Go and get you a linen belt, and put it upon your loins, and put it not in water. So I got a belt according to the word of Yahuwah, and put it on my loins. And the word of Yahuwah came unto me the second time, saying, Take the belt that you have got, which is upon your loins, and arise, go to Pereth, and hide it there in a hole of the rock. So El went and hid it by Pereth, as Yahuwah commanded me. And it came to pass after many days that Yahuwah said unto me, Arise, go to Pereth, and take the belt from thence, which I commanded you to hide there. Then I went to Pereth, and dug, and took the belt from the place where I had hidden it. And behold, the belt was marred, it was profitable for nothing. Then the word of Yahuwah came unto me, saying, Thus says Yahuwah, After this manner will I mar the pride of Yehudah, and the great pride of Yerushalayim. This evil people who refuse to hear my words, which walk in the imagination of their heart, and walk after other Elohim, to serve them, and to worship them, shall even be as this belt, which is good for nothing. For as the belt cleaves to the loins of a man, so have I caused to cleave unto me the whole house of Yashar'el, and the whole house of Yehudah, says Yahuwah, that they might be unto me for a people, and for a name, and for a praise, and for a glory, but they would not hear. Therefore you shall speak unto them this word, Thus says Yahuwah Elohai of Yashar'el, Every bottle shall be filled with wine, and they shall say unto you, Do we not certainly know that every bottle shall be filled with wine? Then shall you say unto them, Thus says Yahuwah, Behold, I will fill all the inhabitants of this land, even the kings that sit upon David's throne, and the priests, and the prophets, and all the inhabitants of Jerusalem, with drunkenness. And I will dash them one against another, even the fathers and the sons together, says Yahuwah. I will not pity, nor spare, nor have mercy, but destroy them. Hear ye and give ear. Be not proud, for Yahuwah has spoken. Give glory to Yahuwah Elohim, before he causes darkness, and before your feet stumble upon the dark mountains, and while ye look for light, he turns it into the shadow of death, and make it gross darkness. But if ye will not hear it, my soul shall weep in secret places for your pride, and my eye shall weep sore, and run down with tears, because Yahuwah's flock is carried away captive. Say unto the king and to the queen, Humble yourselves, sit down, for your principalities shall come down, even the crown of your glory. The cities of the Negev shall be shut up, and none shall open them. Yehudah shall be carried away captive, all of it. It shall be wholly carried away captive. Lift up your eyes, and behold them that come from the north. Where is the flock that was given you, your beautiful flock? What will you say when he shall punish you? For you have taught them to be captains, and as chief over you. Shall not sorrows take you, as a woman in travail? And if you say in your heart, Wherefore come these things upon me? For the greatness of your iniquity are your skirts discovered, and your heels made bare. Can the Cushai change his skin, or the leopard his spots? Then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil. Therefore will I scatter them as the stubble that passes away by the wind of the wilderness. This is your lot, the portion of your measures from me, says Yahuwah, because you have forgotten me and trusted in falsehood. Therefore will I discover your skirts upon your face, that your shame may appear. I have seen your adulteries and your neighings, the lewdness of your whoredom, and your abominations on the hills and the fields. Woe unto you, O Yerushalayim! Will you not be made clean? When shall it once be? Chapter 14. The word of Yahuwah that came to Yirmeyahu concerning the drought. Yehudah mourns, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground, and the cry of Yerushalayim is gone up. And their nobles have sent their little ones to the waters. They came to the pits, and found no water. They returned with their vessels empty. They were ashamed and confounded, and covered their heads. Because the ground is chapped, for there was no rain in the earth. The plowmen were ashamed. They covered their heads. Yea, the hind also calved in the field, and forsook it, because there was no grass. And the wild asses did stand in the high places. They snuffed up the wind like dragons. Their eyes did fail, because there was no grass. O Yahuwah, though our iniquities testify against us, do it for your name's sake, for our backslidings are many. We have sinned against you. O the hope of Yashar'el, the Savior thereof in time of trouble, why should you be as a stranger in the land, and as a wayfaring man that turns aside to tarry for a night? Why should you be as a man astonished, as a mighty man that cannot save? Yet you, O Yahuwah, are in the midst of us, and we are called by your name. Leave us not. Thus says Yahuwah unto this people, thus have they loved to wander, they have not refrained their feet. Therefore Yahuwah does not accept them. He will now remember their iniquity and visit their sins. Then said Yahuwah unto me, pray not for this people for their good. When they fast, I will not hear their cry, and when they offer an ascending smoke offering and an oblation, I will not accept them, but I will consume them by the sword, and by the famine, and by the pestilence. Then said I, Ah, Adonai Yahuwah, behold, the prophets say unto them, Ye shall not see the sword, neither shall ye have famine, but I will give you assured peace in this place. Then Yahuwah said unto me, The prophets prophesy lies in my name. I sent them not, neither have I commanded them, neither spoke unto them. They prophesy unto you a false vision and divination, and a thing of naught, and the deceit of their heart. Therefore thus says Yahuwah concerning the prophets that prophesy in my name, and I sent them not. Yet they say, Sword and famine shall not be in this land. By sword and famine shall those prophets be consumed, and the people to whom they prophesy shall be cast out in the streets of Jerusalem, because of the famine and the sword, and they shall have none to bury them, their women, nor their sons, nor their daughters. For I will pour their wickedness upon them. Therefore you shall say this word unto them, Let my eyes run down with tears night and day, and let them not cease. For the virgin daughter of my people is broken with a great breach, with a very grievous blow. If I go forth into the field, then behold the slain with the sword. And if I enter into the city, then behold them that are sick with famine. Yea, both the prophet and the priest go about into a land that they know not. Have you utterly rejected Yehuda? Has your soul loathed Zion? Why have you smitten us, and there is no healing for us? We looked for peace, and there is no good, and for the time of healing, and behold trouble. We acknowledge, O Yahuwah, our wickedness, and the iniquity of our fathers, for we have sinned against you. Do not abhor us for your name's sake. Do not disgrace the throne of your glory. Remember, break not your covenant with us. Are there any among the vanities of the other nations that can cause rain, or can the heavens give showers? Are not you He, Yahuwah Eloheinu? Therefore we will wait upon you, for you have made all these things. Chapter 15. Then said Yahuwah unto me, Though Moshe and Shemuel stood before me, yet my mind could not be toward this people. Cast them out of my sight, and let them go forth. And it shall come to pass, if they say unto you, Whither shall we go forth? Then you shall tell them, Thus says Yahuwah, Such as are for death to death, and such as are for the sword to the sword, and such as are for the famine to the famine, and such as are for the captivity to the captivity. And I will appoint over them 4 kinds, says Yahuwah, the sword to slay, and the dogs to tear, and the fowls of the heavens, and the beasts of the earth to devour and destroy. And I will cause them to be removed into all kingdoms of the earth, because of Menashe, the son of Yechizkiyahu, king of Yehuda, for that which he did in Jerusalem. For who shall have pity upon you, O Jerusalem? Or who shall bemoan you? Or who shall go aside to ask how you do? You have forsaken me, says Yahuwah, you are gone backward. Therefore will I stretch out my hand against you and destroy you. I am weary with repenting. And I will fan them with a fan in the gates of the land. I will bereave them of children. I will destroy my people, since they return not from their ways. Their widows are increased to me above the sand of the seas. I have brought upon them against the mother of the young men a spoiler at noonday, have caused him to fall upon it suddenly, and terrors upon the city. She that has borne 7 languishes, she has given up her ruach. Her sun is gone down while it was yet day. She has been ashamed and confounded, and the remnant of them will I deliver to the sword before their enemies, says Yahuwah. Woe is me, my mother, that you have borne me a man of strife and a man of contention to the whole earth. I have neither lent on usury, nor men have lent to me on usury, yet every one of them curses me. Yahuwah said, Truly it shall be well with your remnant. Truly I will cause the enemy to entreat you well in the time of evil and in the time of affliction. Shall iron break the northern iron and the steel? Your substance and your treasures will I give to the spoil without price, and that for all your sins, even in all your borders. And I will make you to pass with your enemies into a land which you know not, for a fire is kindled in my anger, which shall burn upon you. O Yahuwah, you know, remember me and visit me, and revenge me of my persecutors. Take me not away in your long suffering. Know that for your sake I have suffered rebuke. Your words were found, and I did eat them, and your word was unto me the joy and rejoicing of my heart. For I am called by your name, O Yahuwah Elohai Tsevaoth. I sat not in the assembly of the mockers, nor rejoiced. I sat alone because of your hand, for you have filled me with indignation. Why is my pain perpetual and my wound incurable, which refuses to be healed? Will you be altogether unto me as a liar, and as waters that fail? Therefore thus says Yahuwah, If you return, then will I bring you again, and you shall stand before me, and if you take forth the precious from the vial, you shall be as my mouth. Let them return unto you, but return not you unto them. And I will make you unto this people a fenced brazen wall, and they shall fight against you, but they shall not prevail against you, for I am with you to save you and to deliver you, says Yahuwah. And I will deliver you out of the hand of the wicked, and I will redeem you out of the hand of the terrible. Chapter 16. The word of Yahuwah came also unto me, saying, You shall not take a woman, neither shall you have sons or daughters in this place. For thus says Yahuwah concerning the sons and concerning the daughters that are born in this place, and concerning their mothers that bore them, and concerning their fathers that begat them in this land. They shall die of grievous deaths. They shall not be lamented, neither shall they be buried, but they shall be as dung upon the face of the earth, and they shall be consumed by the sword and by famine, and their carcasses shall be meat for the fowls of heaven and for the beasts of the earth. For thus says Yahuwah, Enter not into the house of mourning, neither go to lament nor bemoan them, for I have taken away my peace from this people, says Yahuwah, even loving kindness and mercies. Both the great and the small shall die in this land. They shall not be buried, neither shall men lament for them, nor cut themselves, nor make themselves bald for them. Neither shall men tear themselves for them in mourning, to comfort them for the dead. Neither shall men give them the cup of consolation to drink for their father or for their mother. You shall not also go into the house of feasting, to sit with them to eat and to drink. For thus says Yahuwah Tsevaoth, the Elohai of Yashar'el, Behold, I will cause to cease out of this place in your eyes, and in your days the voice of mirth, and the voice of gladness, the voice of the bridegroom and the voice of the bride. And it shall come to pass, when you shall show this people all these words, and they shall say unto you, Wherefore has Yahuwah pronounced all this great evil against us? Or what is our iniquity? Or what is our sin that we have committed against Yahuwah Eloheinu? Then shall you say unto them, Because your fathers have forsaken me, says Yahuwah, and have walked after other Elohim, and have served them, and have worshipped them, and have forsaken me, and have not guarded my Torah, and ye have done worse than your fathers. For behold, ye walk every one after the imagination of his evil heart, that they may not hearken unto me. Therefore will I cast you out of this land into a land that ye know not, neither ye nor your fathers, and there shall ye serve other Elohim day and night, where I will not show you favor. Therefore, behold, the days come, says Yahuwah, that it shall no more be said, Yahuwah lives, that brought up the children of Yashar'el out of the land of Mitzrayim. But Yahuwah lives, that brought up the children of Yashar'el from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither he had driven them, and I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers. Behold, I will send for many fishers, says Yahuwah, and will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain, and from every hill, and out of the holes of the rocks. For my eyes are upon all their ways, they are not hidden from my face, neither is their iniquity hid from my eyes. And first I will recompense their iniquity and their sin double, because they have defiled my land. They have filled my inheritance with the carcasses of their detestable and abominable things. O Yahuwah, my strength and my fortress, and my refuge in the day of affliction, the other nations shall come unto you from the ends of the earth, and shall say, Surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit. Shall a man make Elohim unto himself, and they are no Elohim? Therefore, behold, I will this once cause them to know, I will cause them to know my hand and my might, and they shall know that my name is Yahuwah. Chapter 17. The sin of Yehuda is written with a pen of iron, and with the point of a diamond. It is graven upon the table of their heart, and upon the horns of your altars. While their children remember their altars and their Asherah poles by the green trees upon the high hills. O my mountain in the field, I will give your substance and all your treasures to the spoil, and your high places for sin, throughout all your borders. And you, even yourself, shall discontinue from your heritage that I gave you, and I will cause you to serve your enemies in the land which you know not. For ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever. Thus says Yahuwah, Cursed be the man that trusts in man, and makes flesh his arm, and whose heart departs from Yahuwah. For he shall be like the juniper in the desert, and shall not see when good comes, but shall inhabit the parched places in the wilderness, in a salt land and not inhabited. Blessed is the man that trusts in Yahuwah, and whose hope Yahuwah is. For he shall be as a tree planted by the waters, and that spreads out her roots by the river, and shall not see when heat comes, but her leaf shall be green, and shall not be careful in the year of drought, neither shall cease from yielding fruit. The heart is deceitful above all things, and desperately wicked, who can know it? Yahuwah search the heart, I try the mind, even to give every man according to his ways, and according to the fruit of his doings. As the partridge sits on eggs and hatches them not, so he that gets riches, and not by right, shall leave them in the midst of his days, and at his end shall be a fool. A glorious high throne from the beginning is the place of our sanctuary. O Yahuwah, the hope of Yashar'el, all that forsake you shall be ashamed, and they that depart from me shall he written in the earth, because they have forsaken Yahuwah, the fountain of living waters. Heal me, O Yahuwah, and I shall be healed. Save me, and I shall be saved, for you are my praise. Behold, they say unto me, Where is the word of Yahuwah? Let it come now. As for me, I have not hastened from being a shepherd to follow you, neither have I desired the woeful day. You know that which came out of my lips was right before you. Be not a terror unto me. You are my hope in the day of evil. Let them be confounded that persecute me, but let not me be confounded. Let them be dismayed, but let not me be dismayed. Bring upon them the day of evil, and destroy them with double destruction. Thus said Yahuwah unto me, Go and stand in the gate of the children of the people, whereby the kings of Yehuda come in, and by the which they go out, and in all the gates of Jerusalem, and say unto them, Hear ye the word of Yahuwah, ye kings of Yehuda, and all Yehuda, and all the inhabitants of Jerusalem, that enter in by these gates. Thus says Yahuwah, Take heed to yourselves, and bear no burden on the Shabbat, nor bring it in by the gates of Jerusalem, neither carry forth a burden out of your houses on the Shabbat, neither do ye any work, but hallow ye the day of Shabbat, as I commanded your fathers. But they obeyed not, neither inclined their ear, but made their neck stiff, that they might not hear, nor receive instruction. And it shall come to pass, if ye diligently hearken unto me, says Yahuwah, to bring in no burden through the gates of this city on the Shabbat, but hallow the day of Shabbat, to do no work therein. Then shall there enter into the gates of this city kings and princes sitting upon the throne of David, riding in chariots and on horses, they and their princes, the men of Yehuda and the inhabitants of Yerushalayim, and this city shall remain forever. And they shall come from the cities of Yehuda, and from the places about Yerushalayim, and from the land of Binyamin, and from the plain, and from the mountains, and from the Negev, bringing ascending smoke offerings and sacrifices and oblations and incense, and bringing sacrifices of praise unto the house of Yahuwah. But if ye will not hearken unto me to hallow the day of Shabbat, and not to bear a burden, even entering in at the gates of Yerushalayim on the Shabbat, then will I kindle a fire in the gates thereof, and it shall devour the palaces of Yerushalayim, and it shall not be quenched. Chapter 18. The word which came to Yirmeyahu from Yahuwah, saying, Arise, and go down to the potter's house, and there I will cause you to hear my words. Then I went down to the potter's house, and behold, he wrought a work on the wheels. And the vessel that he made of clay was marred in the hand of the potter, so he made it again another vessel, as seemed good to the potter to make it. Then the word of Yahuwah came to me, saying, O house of Yashar'el, cannot I do with you as this potter? Says Yahuwah. Behold, as the clay is in the potter's hand, so are ye in my hand, O house of Yashar'el. At what instant I shall speak concerning a nation, and concerning a kingdom to pluck up, and to pull down, and to destroy it. If that nation against whom I have pronounced turn from their evil, I will repent of the evil that I thought to do unto them. And at what instant I shall speak concerning a nation, and concerning a kingdom, to build and to plant it. If it does evil in my sight, that it obeys not my voice, then I will repent of the good, wherewith I said I would benefit them. Now therefore go to, speak to the men of Yehuda, and to the inhabitants of Yerushalayim, saying, Thus says Yahuwah, Behold, I frame evil against you, and devise a device against you. Return ye now every one from his evil way, and make your ways and your doings good. And they said, There is no hope, but we will walk after our own devices, and we will every one do the imagination of his evil heart. Therefore thus says Yahuwah, Ask ye now among the heathen who has heard such things. The virgin of Yashar'el has done a very horrible thing. Will a man leave the snow of Lebanon which comes from the rock of the field? Or shall the cold flowing waters that come from another place be forsaken? Because my people have forgotten me. They have burned incense to vanity, and they have caused them to stumble in their ways from the ancient paths, to walk in paths in a way not cast up, to make their land desolate and a perpetual hissing. Every one that passes thereby shall be astonished and wag his head. I will scatter them as with an east wind before the enemy. I will show them the back and not the face in the day of their calamity. Then said they, Come and let us devise devices against Yirmeyahu, for the Torah shall not perish from the priest, nor counsel from the wise, nor the word from the prophet. Come and let us smite him with the tongue, and let us not give heed to any of his words. Give heed to me, O Yahuwah, and hearken to the voice of them that contend with me. Shall evil be recompensed for good? For they have dug a pit for my soul. Remember that I stood before you to speak good for them, and to turn away your wrath from them. Therefore deliver up their children to the famine, and pour out their blood by the force of the sword. And let their women be bereaved of their children and be widows. And let their men be put to death. Let their young men be slain by the sword in battle. Let a cry be heard from their houses, when you shall bring a troop suddenly upon them. For they have dug a pit to take me, and hid snares for my feet. Yet, Yahuwah, you know all their counsel against me to slay me. Forgive not their iniquity, neither blot out their sin from your sight, but let them be overthrown before you. Deal thus with them in the time of your anger.